The Real Adventures in Capitalism is a mimetic condition consisting of spontaneously occurring false memories of an animated television show of the same name. These memories are fragmentary, but portray a consistent picture of the show, even in subjects who have had no contact with other affected individuals. This allows for accurate reconstruction of its contents. According to provided accounts, The Real Adventures in Capitalism consists of two 13-episode seasons, first airing in late 2013 and ending in the spring of 2018. Reports of severe delays and hiatuses are common. The art style and character design can vary wildly between episodes. The credits for each episode list only the voiced cast, with all characters listed as being portrayed by themselves. The primary parties, entities, factions, events, or persons referenced in The Real Adventures in Capitalism are believed to be fictional. Episode 101. The Boss Lady. Everyone remembers the opening scene. Isabel slouched in her office chair, Emma standing proper and awkward, an army of corgis, all named Jeremy, delivering tubs of ice cream, meandering discussion of the dire financial situation facing the Wonderful Workshops Toy Company, the executive board's corporate mismanagement, competitors, Isabel's loss of creative spark, and clever wordplay. The reveal is that Emma is not nearly as humorless as first impressions would imply, and in her own way nudges Isabel out of her moping episode. All's well that ends well. Episode 102. Ticker Tape Tango. Rubber hose animation, all black and white, a big band musical number, the tune and words escaping the mind and leaving the weathered impressions of bombast. First appearance of the executive board with their ticker tape mouths and hissing voices and joyless enforcers of corporate propriety, chases and pranks and pratfalls, slapstick and silliness. The memory is weaker here. Episode 103. Isabel becomes president. Emma is the vice president, no surprise to us there. Jeremy is appointed to be Secretary of State. Chaos descends upon Washington as Congress desperately tries to restrain Isabel's manic decrees and fun-oriented domestic policy. They fail, and watch on in misery and horror. The nation's nuclear arsenal is replaced with jelly beans, cats and dogs live together in harmony, debt is turned into donuts, and political parties that do not involve dancing are banned. World War III seems inevitable after publicly informing Vladimir Putin that he needs to go take a poop and come back when he's less grumpy. The state of affairs only lasts for a few hours, as it is revealed that Isabel's election was the result of a catastrophic mistake in vote counting. She has already grown bored of politics by this time and resigns gracefully. Credits roll over top images of nondescript men in sunglasses and black suits speaking to government officials and members of the press seen earlier in the episode. At no point in the series is Isabel's exact age or nationality stated. It isn't known if the election was legitimate in the first place. Episode 104. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo.
I know it's a grammatically correct sentence,
Isabel exclaims, waving her detached arm around.
You didn't need to point it out.
Episode 105. The Beach Episode. Emma is sitting on a beach chair beneath an umbrella, reading a book. In the background, Isabel is playing with Jeremy, building a sandcastle and jumping about in the surf. After 5 to 6 minutes, Isabel stops moving and shouts, "Emma!" while pointing to a large white-gray form emerging from the water and making low, whale-like noises. A wave of pink foam washes onto the sand. Emma places a bookmark in her book and rises from her chair. Episode 106. Cryogenic Chaos. Frosty blue tubes of cracked and shattered glass, dinosaurs wandering the halls, eating office plants and terrorizing the workers, big feet wearing suits of squid and flatworm and flower, red-robed cultists, faces too blunt and broad for Cro-Magnon men and flesh carved up in squirming scars and scabs, Isabel dressed up in a tacky safari getup with a net. Emma provides handy dinosaur facts and crayon-colored interludes. Jeremy survives getting eaten. While the most dangerous escapees are recaptured, several reappear later in the season for background gags. The dinosaurs featured are feathered, where appropriate. Episode 107. Heist of the Century. Isabel in bunny slippers and a planet-patterned evening gown, illuminated by a refrigerator light, staring at ransacked cabinets and a spray-painted decal on the wall, a black rabbit with a hammer. Episode 108. Jeremy, Jeremy, and Jeremy. In order to save Isabel from a board meeting, 3 Jeremys band together to stage a rescue attempt. Being cute dogs in possession of minimal brain power and no thumbs, they spend the rest of the episode doing things more appropriate to their station life. Cuts to an exasperated Isabel, mere moments from rescue, but for the Jeremys' lackluster efforts are interspersed throughout. Episode 109. Therein we find the shark. 2 rows of men and women in spotless lab coats wail on sharks trussed up by their tails. Emma and Isabel are led down the center causeway by a man 12 feet tall if he was an inch, his knuckles raw and bloody. The name tag on his breastplate reads M.K. Harker. "You see, the real shark was inside us the entire time," he says, pointing to his chest. Isabel nods in agreement. Above their heads, the mangled corpse of a dream whale shark hangs as a trophy. Episode 110. The Green Heart. 3 men at the corner table. Edwin, dark and dour, whose heart held only the clink of coins. Theodore, young and bright-burning, the venture scholar soldier. Reginald, who kept his head in the clouds and his hand at the workbench. The first would stay in London, sink deep into the inky shadows of its back alleys until he was inseparable from that impeachable gloom. The second would set out around the world, butler in tow, and delve into all the secret places hidden from the sight of the natural sciences. The third took his toys to the World's Fair, Chicago. It could have gone better, but it came to be that he received a job offer from the Anderson factory. They were looking for a new draftsman to design their toys. Episode 111. The Terrible Tale of Mr. Red. He is pale like curdled cream, save his hair. That is red. His hands are likewise red. He prefers the straight razor, but will use whatever is on hand. A screwdriver, a protractor, a Newton's cradle. The security cameras see it all. He moves, the lens does not. He jumps from screen to screen, and the camera never shifts to focus on all the red or the misters and misses lying still in the halls. He cannot take his fester anger out on his father. His father is long dead. He never stops talking, narrating a cavalcade of all the faults wrought against him by his dear departed father. His companion nods serenely, but does not interrupt. Mr. Red does not appreciate interruptions. He kills the misters, he kills the misses, he kills the workers and the guards and tears out the wiring out of the drones, and he won't stop talking. He kicks down the door of the boardroom with a boot stained with blood and shit. He kills the dusty gray bean counters and stomps their sagging gray heads into red paste on the white tile floor. Mr. Red's companion smiles. He has too many teeth for his mouth. They fall out and plink on the floor, crowded in a jaw twisted by the strain. In the doorway, Isabel. She is wearing a striped sweater. She tries to say something. It sticks in her throat. She is crying. Red lunges. Emma is in between them. Too fast. She shouldn't be that fast. Deflection, redirection, palm to the chest. Red slides back, but does not fall. Emma says nothing, nor needs to. Isabel runs, scrambling over herself. The fight is a thing of beauty and muscle-clenched terror. There is budget that went into this. Red is everywhere, swinging around like a maniac. Emma is rooted, defensive, solid. Red rambles. Emma doesn't. "Who are you?" he asks, blood dribbling down his chin, shiv buried in his shoulder. Nobody important. She breaks his arm, shatters his jaw. Red falls. Emma runs. The ground shakes, and Mr. Hungry, for that is his name, places a hand upon Red's shoulder.
"Thank you, my boy. Your services are no longer required."
Red looks up and sees that Mr. Hungry is made of teeth. Episode 112. The Big Crunch. White text upon black. In the outer darkness, there is weeping and the gnashing of teeth. Sound only, the grinding of molars, the tear of meat, the slither of a tongue on blood-slicked gums. Swallow. faint whisper. It is very hungry. No credits. Episode 113. The Factory. And from the crumbling workshops, that cocoon of childish joy, rises the bleak and terrible countenance of a dark and horrible factory.